Euaoi.
There are so many videos on the internet talking about how most US state flags are just awful because they follow this generic seal on blue template. When digging back in my mind for past Wikipedia binges, I vaguely remember the country of Liberia having not very good regional flags. Or county flags, to be more accurate. Why they get a bad rep is because they look like they were all lazily put together in MS Paint, and all of them have the actual flag of Liberia as the canton. Which is funny because Liberia's flag has a canton, so it's almost like Liberia's county flags have a canton within a canton. And revisiting them has not really changed my stance on them since they're all just ugly. But for entertainment's sake, I will be going over all 15 of Liberia's county flags and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, and we're going in alphabetical order for each county, starting with Bomi County. And just by looking at this, we're already off to a terrible start. The flag itself is a purple banner with a light blue circle in the center right with some poorly drawn soil and trees. If the soil and trees were professionally drawn, this could have been a passable flag. Unironically, having just the light blue circle without the poorly drawn trees and dirt would be considered an improvement over this. 1 out of 10. The next county on this list is Bong County, and I'm going to give the stoners watching this a few seconds to get it all out of their system. Okay, you good? Let's move on. The flag itself features a pink mountain range over an orange background. The two geological instruments in the white field portion of the flag symbolize Bong County's mining industry. First off, let's address the elephant in the room, that being the pink and orange design. Personally, I think pink and orange is a very underrated color combination, but this flag design is not really doing any favors to support my claim. If either the pink or the orange were muted, then this would be so much better. Also, I would have never guessed that those shapes in the white portion of the flag were supposed to be mining tools if it weren't for the vexillology wiki. If it had a silhouette of pickaxes, then it would do a much better job at showing it. Overall, this flag had potential to be great, but never missed an opportunity to miss that opportunity. 2 out of 10. The next county is Gbarpolu County. I'm certain that's not how you pronounce it, but it's easier on the tongue for me, so I'm just going with that. The flag consists of a gold banner on which a centrally placed diamond is flanked on the right by a tree. I do have to say that the diamond looks professionally drawn, and I like that the brown part of the tree looks like a human being holding up the leaves. Love the hidden symbolism, regardless if it's intentional or not. There are some things about this flag that I didn't like, such as the little lines on top of the diamond. I think that's just an unnecessary detail. But overall, this flag is actually the first one that passes in my book. 6 out of 10. Up next is Bassa County. The flag is a royal blue banner with 2 red and 2 white stripes in the lower right. The dark blue stands for loyalty, while the stripes represent the 4 members of the Grand Bassa delegation who signed Liberia's Declaration of Independence on July 26, 1847, namely Anthony Gardner, John Day, Ephraim Titler, and Amos Herring. While it does look awkward that the 4 stripes aren't in a corner, nor are they spanning all the way throughout the flag's width, but at least it doesn't have any childish doodles on it, which is enough for me to pass it. 7 out of 10. Now moving on to another Grand County, we have Grand Cape Mount County. The flag itself is a white banner with the Grand Cape Mount contoured green with a green border. And interestingly enough, the flag of Liberia isn't tucked all the way into the upper left corner, and it's the only county flag to not do this. I also really like the drawing of the mountain. Some people may say it's too detailed, but I disagree. I'd rather have a mountain design on a flag with a lot of curves than have it consist of basic geometric shapes. It makes it more unique. In my opinion, this is a grand flag. Easily the best of all Liberian county flags, although that's not saying much. 9 out of 10. Another grand county is next. This time it's Grand Gedeh County. The flag itself is a green mountain range with blue and white stripes behind it representing the sky with an orange sun and some sunbeams creeping over the mountain. After getting a string of solid flag designs, we're now back to the flag designs that look like children's drawings. First off, I hate how unevenly spaced the sunbeams are. On top of that, that shade of blue isn't really a good color to place that orange sun over. If it was a navy blue, it would be easier for the eyes. I also don't get the white stripe, especially since the peak of the green mountain goes right over it. If the white followed the outline of the mountain, it would have worked better. 3 out of 10. And for the last of the grands, we have Grand Kru County. The flag is a white field with 2 vertical bands of green/yellow near the hoist and 2 similar vertical bands of yellow/green near the fly. In the center is a tree with a brown trunk and 7 green leaves, 4 on the left and 3 on the right, which stands upon a green base below the centered on a central white panel. And believe it or not, I don't hate this flag. I like the green and yellow bands on the side. It kind of gives it that pseudo-Canadian pale look. I also like the design of the tree, even though the leaves aren't all the same shape. But you know what? It passes. 5 out of 10. Moving on from the grands, we now have Lofa County. The flag is a green banner featuring a light blue river with an arm reaching over the river grabbing a tree trunk. One thing I should mention is that I think it's kind of funny that the tree trunk is shaded, yet the arm is just one color. But other than that, it's bad in the most basic way possible. 1 out of 10. Lofa County, more like Lofa D's nuts.
Got him!
Now, we have Margibi County. The flag is a green over red horizontal bicolor. Near the fly is a roundel divided horizontally, blue over white, with a green stripe running across it. Atop the green stripe is a rubber tree being tapped. And we also have symbolic meanings for the flag's design. Green represents the county's forests and vegetation. Red represents its share in the struggle that led to the 1980 coup d'etat and the subsequent move towards democracy. The rubber tree and tap represent the county's rubber farms and plantations. On top of the historical context, I like how the circle is divided in half right at the intersection of the green and red stripes. The rubber tree and tap also looks like it wasn't designed by a 5-year-old, even though it looks more like a flower over an anthill, but a nice illustration nonetheless. 7 out of 10. Now, moving on to Maryland County, and I don't mean the state of Maryland, but rather Maryland County in Liberia. The flag consists of a drawing of a tree and a lighthouse on a cliff with 2 yellow stripes surrounding it. 3 questions I have with this flag design. The first being, why does the lighthouse look like it was drawn by a 1st grader using kid picks? Second, what is it with Liberian flags and adding unnecessary lines to everything? Lastly, why is the green part of the tree the only thing that's shaded? Terrible, terrible flag. 1 out of 10. Up next, we have Montserrado County. The flag has a red half and a blue half split along a diagonal line running from the lower left-hand corner to the upper right-hand corner. In the center lies a light blue circle with drawings of trees and what appears to be a tiny house. If it was just the light blue circle without the poorly drawn trees, this could have been a 6 out of 10, but the bad drawings knock it down to a 4 out of 10. After moving on from the M's, we have Nimba County. The flag is a horizontal tricolor of red, white, and blue, with a picture in the center of God knows what. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to analyze what on earth this is supposed to be, but it looks like childish scribbles, so it gets a 2 out of 10. Up next is Rivercess County. The flag consists of a green meadow with a river leading to a tree with a sunrise and 2 trees over the horizon. First off, why are the 2 trees just floating in the background? Secondly, if you look closely at the shading, you'll notice that the 2 trees are just reflections of each other. Thirdly, that big tree in the center with the river leading up to it makes it look like it's bleeding blue sap. Lastly, I wish a more muted shade of blue was used, because this blue is just eye strain. In case it wasn't obvious, this is easily the worst county flag in Liberia. 0 out of 10. The penultimate county is none other than Rivercess County. The The flag contains alternating blue, white, and blue horizontal stripes with a yellow sun and a green tree in the white stripe. First off, I like how the top blue stripe is the same height as the Liberian flag canton. It's a nice touch. Also, the sun doesn't look like a childish scribble. My only complaint is that the tree just floats. In fact, I'd prefer if the tree wasn't there at all, but then it would look pretty similar to Argentina's flag. 6 out of 10. And last but certainly not least, with that title belonging to Rivercess County, is Sinoe County. And the flag itself is just simple. It's just a green cross. This is pretty much proof that less is more. 8 out of 10. And just like that, I've rated all 15 of Liberia's county flags. But enough about my opinion. I want to hear your opinions on Liberia's county flags. Feel free to rate all 15 of them yourself in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.